So our next speaker is Paul Sethy of the Alameda County Water District. Paul's been an amazing friend to Vinnie all of these years. He was supporting Vinnie long before Vinnie was making a lot of headway as a politician. So Paul, please come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Jenny. So on the way over here, I was actually thinking of some knock-knock jokes, and I thought of one that might be fitting here. So, knock, knock. Who's there? Bacon. Bacon who? Baking it up for a good night tonight. So I'm going to keep my remarks pretty brief. My remarks in reference to re-endorsing Vinnie Bacon for Fremont City Council are quite short, and I would simply like to make 3 points on the theme that came to mind when Vinnie asked me to speak, which was promises made, promises kept. That is Vinnie's legacy in his first 4 years on the City Council. One, I'm going to make 3 points here. One, he said that he would not take any contributions from developers or be influenced by developers in our community. And that's what first attracted me to Vinnie before he was elected to the City Council. We are all aware of the pressures that developers put on City Hall and their staff, and Vinnie has been able to rebuff these initiatives pretty much point by point. I feel the same pressures as a director on the Alameda County Water District Board, by the way, because we have to approve every single development before it even goes to the Planning Commission or City Council. Number two, I think it's very important that we recognize Vinnie for his communications with the public. Vinnie has done an extraordinary job, if you think back to previous council members, current council members, in terms of communicating with the citizens of Fremont on what is actually going on down at City Hall. And I actually very much enjoy reading his newsletters that come to me periodically. Transparency was a key to all of his efforts on the City Council as well. And I believe that transparency in terms of everything that we're doing, where our money's being spent, why we're doing things, why we're making certain modifications to certain developments and things is very important. And Vinnie is one of the best people in the community in terms of articulating in a sensible way, an easy to understand way, what is going on in the fourth largest city in the Bay Area. I also want to recognize Vinnie for his listening skills. I look for that with every person that serves me in a public office. I look for how well they are willing to listen, that it doesn't go in one ear and out the other, that they actually are truly listening to your concerns. Even if they disagree with what you're saying, I have found Vinnie to be somebody I can correspond with, that he listens truly to what I'm saying, and I think that is an extraordinary skill, actually, that a lot of people don't have. And so I want to recognize Vinnie for that. He really listens, folks. Number three, fighting for our community interests on every issue. I'm not going to go into details about different projects and things that are going on around the city right now, but let me just say that Vinnie never backs down. He fights for the community interests. He is willing to work with city staff, even when he's in the minority, to at least carve out what he thinks is in the best interest of our community. And that's another rare skill. You have to be able to work with other people. You may not get what you want all the time, but you have to have the ability to work with other people. And so I recognize Vinnie for that. He studies intensively all issues that come before the city council. I have never once seen that he was not prepared. He comes in with balance on every issue that comes before the council. And for me, I try to do the same thing in my public service. I do my homework, I study, I see Vinnie doing the same thing, and to me that's a very important component of why I believe we should continue to back him. So those are just some of the things that we can all appreciate about Vinnie. I have been asking myself the last couple of days since Vinnie asked me to speak here, where do all of these values in a human being come from? What is Vinnie composed of? What are his roots? What shaped him as a person? What shaped him as a person and a leader in our community? And I want to share something on that query of mine since Father's Day is coming around the corner. And I didn't talk to Vinnie about this. I hope I don't embarrass him here. But a few years back, I was at Vinnie's house, and I saw a photograph on the wall of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as U.S. Attorney General giving an award to a fine-looking gentleman in the photograph. And I asked Vinnie, who is that? And he says, my father. I said, what was the award for? Well, you know, after I talked to Vinnie for a while, and I actually went to the library, I pulled some old articles from Chicago out, and I went on the internet. I discovered that Vinnie's father was actually a modern-day Eliot Ness. I'm not kidding. Sorry to embarrass you, Vinnie. No, I'm not kidding. He was brought into the city of Chicago to clean up all of the corruption that was going on in the sanitary district of Chicago, which was controlled by the mob and the mafia for decades. People were going to work and being paid a check and not doing anything. Vinnie's father was actually brought in by the mayor to clean up the corruption that was going on in the sanitary district of Chicago. He had 2 assassination attempts on his life. Think about that for a minute. Vinnie was just a child. Think about how that shapes you as a person when you're growing up to know that your father was the object of derision, having the mafia and the mob against you, and trying to do your best effort to clean up your city. And that there's an intended pun there, by the way, with sanitary. So, you know, when I looked at who Vinnie's father was and I started to study who Vinnie was as a person, what shaped him as he grew up, I came to know him a lot better. And I was one who, I was only 8 years old when Bobby Kennedy was assassinated, and I was watching it live early in the morning when I got up at night with my parents. You know, he kind of became a hero figure to me. And so I'll close with one of his favorite quotes, which he took from George Bernard Shaw, which was, some people see things as they are. I dream of things that never were and ask why not. And I see Vinnie Bacon as one of those change agents in our community that says, you know, I'm not going to take no for an answer. We're going to get it done if we can. And so, Vinnie, I personally, sincerely wish you the best of luck here, and gladly re-endorse you on your campaign.